So I went to CFCC and played there for 2 years. Went to Grand Junction, Colorado with them, World Series, and I warmed up with a football because I was a quarterback in high school and safety. So I warmed up playing baseball with the football. So God's always kept that in the back of my mind because when other guys would pull a baseball out and warm up, I would pull a football. A lot of people that's dealing with things, and it takes your mind off of things when you working out and you're dealing and you're hurting and with the weights and the sweating, and it takes you away from everything you're dealing with. It's a positive way to take yourself out of problem situations of depression. You just got to get your mind. Your mind is a really powerful tool. We don't use it the way that we should a lot of times.
Give me your best Dante Culpepper story. Like y'all competing against each other.
Well, we wanted to play them in football, but they were too big. They were 5'8". I just wanted to play them because we didn't shy away from anybody at South Sumter, but I wanted to play against them, and we got to play. I got to play him in the King of the Sun. That's the only time I got to play him 1-on-1, and I had to guard him. And he was big. I played with Brian Dawkins, but then you have Ed Reed and Palomalo. Like, let's not even go in that direction.
Well, Lord have mercy.
I mean, you ain't got enough room. The kids don't use their struggle as leverage. Their struggle is leverage. My struggle was leverage. Seeing things created anger, and then my high school coach taught me how to channel it, direct it. So when I touched the football field, I was able to direct it toward my opponents. But when I get off the football field, I got to be back to Cliton Hart.
Did you tackle, when you was in high school, did you tackle with intent to hurt?
Yeah.
Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Oh, let's talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love. Let's talk about communication. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, William Robinson of TLC Talk Love and Communication, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Cliton Hart. He's a business owner right here in Marion County, a Healthy Heart Fitness, ladies and gentlemen. He's the head coach, the new head coach of Trinity Catholic High School right here in Marion County, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to give us some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, let us know how he became the man that he is today, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, we're going to give this young man a special round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, how you doing today, Mr. Hart?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
How was the ride over? Everything went good?
It went good. Had to walk around a little bit to find you, but you ain't hard to find.
I ain't hard to find. Just find a little love and a little communication. I'll be there.
It leads you in the right direction.
So tell my audience a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm from Webster, Florida, born and raised. My mom's name's Kathy. Dad name's Clint. Got some brothers. My younger brother, Keanu Neal, played 8 years in the National Football League as well. I'm 20 years older than him, but I got an older brother named Kelly Hart. He actually possibly could have went and played as well, chose a different direction. And I got a younger brother named Cedric Neal. And I got a couple sisters, and I got a beautiful daughter named Lillian Hart, played at Vanguard, played volleyball, is now doing art here. But I'm a business owner here in Ocala, and I love to help in the community. And I'm from Webster, but this is my community here now.
Okay, when you say a business owner, so you have Healthy Heart Fitness. So How did that come about, and what was your motivation and factor?
Well, a lot of guys struggle after the NFL finding something that they're passionate about, and I was always able to work out and cared about the way I felt and looked, and so I felt like I can bring a change in the physical and mental growth for people and pouring into them, and especially kids, training kids and working with kids, and then pouring into them mentally too, and talking about some experiences that I've had, the ups and downs and the tough times, but fitnesses and exercises help me callous my mind and make me tough to deal with the tough times, the pains of life.
You know, a lot of time we think of fitness. People run for fitness. You know, people pay millions of dollars for memberships and never go to the gym.
Right.
And fitness is a form of discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
And that leaks off to other areas of your life, correct, sir?
Yes. And that's the main thing that people need to understand. You know, it just like football, it's going to teach you some things that the game's going to end, and what have you learned from it. The same thing with discipline. Discipline carries throughout all aspects of life, in all areas of life. And so if you can teach yourself to care about yourself and be disciplined enough to care about you, then it's going to help, because fitness and health is wealth. You know, so people think it's money. No, a rich dying man would love a poor man's health. He's in better shape and health. You know, we had Steve Jobs, you know, one of the richest men in the world, said he would give anything. You know, he would give all his money away for great health, because you can't buy that. You have to work at it.
You know, and working out and being fit is a form of therapy. You know, me, myself, a lot of times when I get very disciplined, when I go to the gym, my mind processes things different.
Right.
You know, I'm able to self-reflect. I'm able to lock in and focus on things that's important to me and have that mental conversation with yourself. So do you believe that working out and being physically fit is a form of therapy also?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a stress reliever. You know, a lot of people that's dealing with things, and it takes your mind off of things when you working out and you're dealing and you're hurting and with the weights and sweating, and it takes you away from everything you're dealing with. It's a positive way to take yourself out of problem situations of depression. You just got to get your mind. Your mind is a really powerful tool. We don't use it the way that we should a lot of times. When you say you had to create triggers for yourself, like for instance, when you take a break and you slam your laptop shut, it should remind you, if you're going to do jumping jacks every time you do that, every time you shut it, okay, that's a trigger. Or every time you get up in the morning, you set something to trigger you to make sure you pray. You know, we got to create things in our life to remind us we got to do. That's why we have alarms to get you up. So same thing as with discipline. You have to find things that make you want to do what you need to do to get where you're trying to get.
That's correct. You know, and positive affirmation, you know, be able to look in the mirror and tell yourself, give yourself the I am speech.
Why do you think they say that? I tell people that all the time. Why do you think they say it's funny you said that.
Why do I think they say
the I am?
The I am speech, because, you know, words are powerful. Words is life.
Yes.
You know,
who is I am?
Well, we know who I am. You know, I am is the one and only.
So
God Himself.
So when a counselor is a tool that we are supposed to use for counseling, and they tell you to say, "I am beautiful. I am smart. I am intelligent." Well, you're bringing Christ into what you're saying about yourself. So now you just enhance how you feel about you in a different manner than just saying, you know, I'll be all right, or I'm good. No, I am confident. I am beautiful. I am smart. And you invite Christ into that conversation.
You know, let me ask you a question. Who was the first president of the United States?
Come on, man. Really?
Who?
George Washington.
George Washington. Because that's what they told us. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they told us.
And we wasn't alive then, so we believe it.
Yeah.
They told us. We heard it so many times, we believe it. And that goes back to the positive affirmation that I am.
Right.
See, when you get in that mirror and you tell yourself, I am, over and over and over and over and over again, you begin to believe it and accept it as fact.
Right.
And you begin to act on these things.
Yep.
You know, so...
That's good that you said that, though, because I tell people that all the time.
That's right. You know,
I tell them to say that.
And that's so important. So what are some of the... We're going to get into the football, but what are the three things you can tell your audience to help them stay focused when it comes to fitness? What is so important that they must follow?
You got to wake up in the morning with a positive attitude. You can't get up and automatically start talking negative to yourself, because your body is cells. They respond to what we tell them. You say you're depressed. There's no way you can say I'm so depressed and smile. Your body kind of sinks because they're responding to you. So I always try to tell myself, let's go, get up, let's go, let's do this. You got it. You got it. Confidence in yourself. Go, go hard today. No matter how you feel, you get up and go hard. You're talking to the cells that make your body get up and do the things it needs to do. So I always tell myself and tell people to be encouraging to yourself. It's called, you have self-esteem for a reason. It's esteem within yourself that has to be boiling, has to be going. And two, just surround yourself around positive people. Surround yourself around people that are trying to go in the direction that you're going in. And if you're the smartest person in the room, find another room, find another room where it's smarter people and people trying to go in the right, in a better direction, people you can grow from. And also, I'd say always try to be 1% better. People don't understand how powerful 1% is. And in San Diego, we used to call ourselves 212 because people that know that at 211 degrees, water is just real hot. And at 212 degrees, water starts to steam. So that 1 degree can move a train. That 1 degree can move a train. So if it can move a train and it can't move you, something wrong with you.
Yeah, something wrong with you. And speaking of just those three things that you just said, and having positive affirmation and believing in self, just speaking life into yourself. What's unique about you, and your story is that the odds of you accomplishing the things that you've accomplished throughout your life is virtually, it doesn't happen.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And,
yes, sir.
And successful people have certain qualities and certain traits that almost all successful people have. You understand what I'm saying? And those are the traits that you possess.
Yep.
Your story, for those who don't know, you want to walk them through the story. I mean, to my understanding, you was a man who did not play college football.
No.
And you managed to have how many years in the NFL?
8.
8 years in the NFL. So high school, what took place within high school until that? Take me through that.
Well, after high school, I had an opportunity to play college football at UCF. I didn't pass the SAT, and they wanted me to go to Cochran, Georgia, up in Georgia, to junior college. At that time, my dad was dealing in the streets, and my mom was struggling with some stuff and trying to manage. And I said, I'm not going to leave, and I'm gonna stay here and try to help, but I need to be doing something. So I came to Ocala, the CFCC. And
shout out to CFCC.
Shout out to Central Florida Community College. I know they've changed the name, but I came there and I wanted to play baseball. And Marty Smith didn't have a baseball scholarship. I said to myself, I'm going to go to CFCC, play for 2 years, get my AA, and still transfer to UCF. So that way I could still be close. So I traveled back and forth, but they didn't have scholarships at the time available. So they were actually playing basketball in the gym, and we were playing in the gym, and they said they're having baseball tryouts today. And so I went out there with shorts and tennis shoes on and a tank top. And all these guys were standing out there, and I played baseball too all my life. And they put everybody out in the outfield, and they just had us throw the ball to different bases. And I threw the ball one time, maybe a couple of times. And I had a really strong arm, and I was a pitcher center field. I was blessed with athletic talent. I played in high school, but I threw one time, and the coach said, "Wow, really?" Yeah. So he said, "If you come out and you walk on this year, we'll give you a scholarship next year." So I went to CFCC and played there for 2 years. Went to Grand Junction, Colorado with them, World Series, and I warmed up with a football because I was a quarterback in high school and safety. So I warmed up playing baseball with the football. So God's always kept that in the back of my mind, because I would when other guys would pull a baseball out and warm up, I would pull a football. And it made my arms stronger throwing a heavier ball.
Yeah, I would think that would make sense.
Yeah.
And even but what about the form of it? What about the
people don't understand it's relatively the same. The way you throw and the way you open your hands up and throw the ball. everything, even from when you throw a football, it's thumb down as a quarterback. When you throw a baseball, it's more thumb down.
But what about the Kurt?
When you shoot a basketball, it's thumb down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I never looked at it that way.
so my curveball's a little different. You have to, but when you normally throw the ball fast, it's similar.
You know what amazed me about me? I was an athlete in my day. We all think we were good.
Yeah,
you got people, then you got the Culpeppers, you got the Cliton Harts,
right?
You got these people, and you're really not a normal person. You know what I'm saying? Like you say. Football. I just go play baseball. I just go play basketball. It doesn't matter because when me and Mr. Gates Coach Gates was just talking, and we talking about football players and athletes. An athlete, it doesn't matter. I just go do either one.
It's different.
I mean, I think like Culpepper, as good as he was in football.
I tried out with him at the Pirates.
Yeah, you ever seen him play baseball?
I tried out with him at Vanguard with the Pirates.
I mean, wow. I mean, this guy, basketball? You seen this guy play basketball?
I guarded him in the Kingdom of the Sun. Trust me, I know.
Oh, so that's your era. That's your...
Yeah, I was with him, yeah.
Okay.
I competed against him, and we tried out with the Pirates at Vanguard, and I hit before him. Actually, he hit before me, and he was hitting the ball over the portables. And I was like,
I got to come after him.
I'm going to follow that. And I covered him. I guarded him in Kingdom of the Sun. Yeah. And he went around me and dunked on everybody. I'm like,
big old kid. Big kid. Guy. Moving like that, man.
Big guy.
So you give me your best Dante Culpepper story, like y'all competing against each other.
Well, we wanted to play them in football, but they were too big. They were 5'8". I just wanted to play them because we didn't shy away from anybody at South Sumter, but I wanted to play against him, and we got to play. I got to play him in the Kingdom of the Sun. That's the only time I got to play him 1-on-1, and I had to guard him. And he was big.
So, what position you played? You played a forward?
Yeah, I played forward. But I wanted to guard him. I wanted to guard him just because he was Dante.
Yeah, on that.
When you think you're one of the best, you want to play against the best. You want to compete against. I wouldn't want to shy away from him. So I said, I want him.
And it's funny you say that. Like I said again, people like yourself are different. Right. It doesn't matter if you played guard.
Yeah, right.
I want to guard him. I want him. It kind of reminds me of when the Lakers were playing the Boston Celtics in the championship. They got the great Ron Artest. He's supposed to be this defensive specialist. Paul Pierce putting it on him.
Yeah.
Kobe went to the sideline and said, I got him.
I want him. That's the same thing Mike would do.
I got him. Yeah, I don't want to. Who you think, Kobe or Mike?
Obviously Michael Jordan, but Kobe is a replica of Mike. They did things a little different, but Kobe wanted to be like Mike so much. He studied him. And he respected him that he couldn't even put his number on. So, you got to respect guys like that. I mean, I know everybody got a lot of LeBron fans, and LeBron's done some great things over time, but over time and longevity. But the greatest of all time to me is Michael Jordan.
Out of respect, you always give homage to the people before you.
Right.
And you would never say, well, I was better than... Like, I personally think Mike Tyson would have knocked out Muhammad Ali. Yeah. I think Kobe is better than Jordan. Mm-hmm. I think, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the one that's, you know what I mean? Because I think Kobe was an inch taller. Kobe had a better per jump shot. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And he had that killer instinct as well.
That's the similarity, and that's what LeBron lacks. Yeah. LeBron may score 40 points, but in the fourth quarter, he only had 6.
But he's 6'9", 270 pounds, just running in that full speed. Yeah. Nobody's taking charges on that.
Yeah. He's the most athletic player I've ever seen in basketball.
It's some guys that played that people, probably didn't score like that, but super, super athletic. The history of
basketball. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. The Clyde Drexlers and all of them guys. Them guys was athletic.
Even old Isaiah, you know what I mean?
Them guys, it's a lot of history that we have to respect in every sport. Best athlete, Bo Jackson. Athlete.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Hey, Bo knows.
You know, you know who reminded me of Bo Jackson? His plan. When I seen him run the ball, he reminded me of Bo Jackson. Was Ricky Williams?
Yes. You know what? I got a story about Ricky Williams.
Okay.
We playing Ricky Williams. We playing Miami and in Miami, San Diego.
Hold on for a minute.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Dolphins, baby.
Put your fin up.
You better believe it.
Yeah. So we go down and I got a broke hand during the year, so I was getting cortisone shots every game in my hand because of the bone. But so it kind of give me I'm a little woozy out there. Cortisone go through your whole body, you don't feel it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I don't feel nothing. I'm finna hit him.
Yeah.
I'm finna hit him. And I met him in the hole, like me and him, it was about like 10-yard line. Wham! He turned me around in a complete he turned around. Now I stopped it, slowed him down, but turned him around in a complete circle. Boom! Just turned me around.
You facing the end zone.
I'm facing the end zone, still looking for him. Well, my boys got him, but he turned me around. But he was a man.
But even in the NFL, like at the highest level, like you got clearly when you was in high school, this guy's special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dante's, he's special.
Yeah, you see.
So even in the NFL,
you got special.
it's still pecking orders
it's special guys.
We all in the NFL, but this guy's
Adrian Peterson was special.
Oh my.
Trust me, I chased him. I chased him all over the field. 267 yards against us in Minnesota. He made a record on us.
To me, it's hard to acknowledge history,
right,
when you're watching it, or when you're living, when you're present,
right.
And like I say, I'm the type of guy where I don't care if everyone like the blue car.
Right.
I like the green car.
Yeah.
I'm not easily influenced. And to me, Adrian Peterson is one of the best running backs in the history.
He's one of the best in history. Speed,
the power, the elusiveness, everything.
He ran like a kid with a person with nothing to lose. He ran like a kid. He ran like somebody just not caring about his body. I mean, he was fast. He was powerful. He was strong. He could run away from you. He can run over you.
He can make you miss.
He can make you miss, and everything was wild about him running. I mean,
he ran with so much
aggressive.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Aggressive. He ran aggressive. I remember chasing him, and I just couldn't catch him.
You said you thought you was fast, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I was average, but I knew if I can get a good angle on him.
Yes.
But even the angles was just erased by him.
And and some people have deceptive speed. Like you take like Ted Ginn Jr.
Right.
It doesn't look like he's moving
but
like that.
He's covering a lot of ground.
But those strides are
he was covering a lot of ground.
And that will cause you to take bad angles.
Right.
Because it doesn't look like he's moving fast.
It looks like he's moving slow, but he's covering a lot of ground. But yeah.
Okay, let's go out on a limb. If you were to pick your starting defense.
Oof, that's tough right there with the history. And I'll just talk from secondary is just tough in itself. Starting defense, I played with Brian Dawkins, but then you have Ed Reed and Palomalu. Let's not even go in that direction.
Well, Lord have mercy.
I mean, you ain't got enough room. Well, you don't have enough. Then you go to linebackers. It's like who
y'all had a pretty
We went 14-2 one year at San Diego. We should have.
You had Gates on that team, right?
Oh man, I had to cover him every day in practice. Very deceptive, sneaky basketball feet.
Why is it so hard why do you think tight ends throughout history has had so much? There's never been a dynasty in the NFL without a great tight end.
Well, you got to have a great tight end, and a tight end that can take advantage of the mismatches of linebackers. They can make a linebacker. Right now the tight ends are more like tweeners.
Yeah.
The Kittles and the Kelseys. Yeah. They can literally run. They can outrun a linebacker, and they're too big for corner or safety.
Yeah.
So it's I played against Tony Gonzalez. He wasn't fast, but he was big. So when he get to a certain area,
you own it, but he boxed you out.
He boxed me out, I remember one play against him against Kansas City, and we ended up winning. It was 4th and goal on the 10, and we went man to man, and I knew I had to cover him, and I knew they were going to him, and he was trying to bully me and push me, and he was backing me up, but then I slipped him, and I had a broke hand at the time, but they threw it to him. Got up, I tried to catch it, but I threw it down. I threw it right into one of my corners' chest, and we intercepted it. And they called that game the Heart Stopper.
The Heart Stopper.
Yeah, they put me on the front of the paper and everything because I stopped. We won the game, but they used HART stopper.
Right. Man, hold them hands up again, man. Those some big old hands, man. Dang, man. Hey, them things,
They
done been up on a lot of dumbbells.
I'm trying to tell you, I got it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So, what would you say the highlight of your career was? When you think over your NFL career, what was the highlight?
The highlight was honestly being given number 33. People don't know the story about 33 to me. I always said God directed me to the NFL. When people ask me, how'd you get there? I said, it was all God. He knew I had the talent, but like you said earlier, words are powerful. So, and back all the way jumping to saying, when I finished college, I went to my high school coach and I said, I want to go to the NFL now. And he said, how you going to do that? And I said, I'm going to the NFL in 4 years, coach. And he said, well, how are you going to do that? And I said, I'm going to go to Arena 2, Arena 1, NFL Europe, and I'm going to be in the NFL in 4 years. And it's a tryout in Tallahassee with Gene McDowell, who recruited me out of high school. He started an inaugural season, and hopefully he'll remember me when I get out there. And Coach Sherman said, I'll take you. And he took me. And when I went out there, within 30 minutes, Gene McDowell walked over to me and said, we want to sign you to a contract. And I was like, really? It was 300 guys out there.
I mean, looking back, I know you're only Cliton Hart.
Right.
All you could be is Cliton Hart.
Right.
That's it. When you was out there amongst, there was other people.
A lot of older guys, former college guys from Florida State. It's like 300 guys trying to make this roster.
Do you know how special you have to be to stand out amongst those people? And you hadn't played football in what?
I hadn't played football since high school. This was 2000. This is 5 years.
Man, so, you gonna make me run down some high school tape. You still got some reels, man?
I got everything in high school. I got all my tapes in high school, everything. But when I went out there, see, people got to understand, and I tell kids this, what do they see when they see you? So when I got out of the truck, I wanted to look like a football player. I was spatted. I had nice gloves on. I was put together. Some guys came out there in tennis shoes. Some guys came out there, not looking like a ball. I said, when I step out here, I have to look like something.
Talent or effort?
Effort. Everybody got talent. They want to see you fall and get up. They want to see how you finish. So when I went out of Tallahassee, 30 minutes, say we want to sign you to a deal. $200 a week you play for in Arena 2 when I started. $50 bonus if you win. So you had to work a job and make $200 a week playing football. But I said, this is college for me. I don't care about the money. I'm not going to be here but 1 year. That's what I kept telling myself. And the next year, Tampa Bay Storm called me. We want to bring you down to town. We heard about you. We want to bring you down here for a workout. I said, okay. I need to take the same approach that I took in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. I got to get out this vehicle now because now I have guys making six figures and guys that are already established in Arena 1 making six figures that I'm fixing to work out against. So how am I going to stand out amongst them? Just do what you do. So I stepped out, worked out. Tim Markham came up to me about 45 to an hour into it and he said, we want to sign you to a 2-year contract. $900 a week, that's all we're going to pay you. I told him exactly this. Coach, I'm honored. $900 is fine. I ain't going to be here but 1 year. They had stars, superstars all over that team. The way I practiced, the way I worked, I had guys that played in the pros that came down to play arena would tell me, you keep going, you keep doing that, bro. You're going to the league. You keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to be in the league. You keep on. And I just let it fuel me. And the next year, out of the blue, I was working at Marion Youth Development Center here in Lowell with kids because I love working out with kids in the off season. And I was a rec coordinator at Marion Youth Development Center. Mm-hmm. And I got a call from the Eagles. Actually, first Green Bay called. I flew out to Green Bay. They worked me out. They thought I was a receiver because in arena you play both ways. But I wasn't a receiver. I was a safety. And I sat in Brett Favre's locker and everything, and it came back after the workout. They never called back. Well, a couple of weeks later, I got a call from the Eagles. And they said, we want to bring you up to the vet to work you out. I went to the vet. I slipped. I fell. I had new stuff. I took the same approach that I took in arena. But I was falling and I was slipping because I was nervous. But I finished everything. I got up and I was finishing. And so I came home and I was like, they ain't going to call me. I got a call and they said, you're pretty raw. We want to send you over to NFL Europe. Now, mind you, this is exactly what I said to my high school coach before I started this journey. If I make those teams, then I don't do what I told my high school coach because it would have interrupted what I voiced to the universe. So I had to not get picked up by those teams and get sent to Europe. So I got sent to Europe by Eagles to Germany. And I left Webster not knowing, never been anywhere. And I was over in Germany playing with the Ryan Fire, had the Eagles on the back of my helmet. Every team had their players over there with different things on the back of the helmets. So you can tell who they allocated. And I was over in Germany for 3 months. And then ended up coming back over here to the Eagles training camp. And when I got there, I wanted number 42 because I like running a lot. Mm-hmm. And they said, we don't have 42, we have 33. And so I said, I'll take 33. And this all didn't settle me till later on after I was got in my journey there. The Eagles practiced in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They didn't have 42, they had 33. Mm-hmm. Jesus died at age 33. Mm. I didn't make the Green Bay Packers because I wasn't supposed to be representing a cheesehead. I was supposed to be representing the eagle, which is a biblical bird. So now I'm representing the eagle, which is a biblical bird. Given number 33, which represents Jesus Christ's death, and we're practicing in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Is it coincidence? I say not.
You know, and it's all about perspective. Mm-hmm. You know, I often talk about the word prejudice. A lot of people look at prejudice as a bad word, but right. It just stems from preference.
Right, preference.
You know, I like Popeyes over KFC.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I like the Dolphins over.
I just learned something. Right?
Yeah, I mean, so it's. Yeah, so if you want to start by and bring some chicken, you bring some.
Yeah.
And I prefer the one on.
I got you.
I mean, I'm right by this one, but I go to that one.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
you know,
I understand totally.
So it's preference, and like you say, it's the way you chose to perceive it.
Perceive it.
It's how you perceive it, and it goes back to self. How Clinton look at it.
Right.
How Clinton, not what Mama look at it, not what Daddy look at it, not what the coach look at it.
Right.
How I see it.
Right.
And you know, and that's so important because you believe in self.
Right.
It's like you say, the self-esteem, that 1 degree.
Right, 1 degree.
You know, makes the world of a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, it's each and every moment.
Right.
Every decision.
Everyone.
I mean, Jesus was talking to his disciples, and he told them, he said, well, who do man say I am?
Right.
oh, you probably Elijah, one of the prophets. He said, well, who do you say I am?
Right.
Peter said, you just Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus told him, flesh and blood is not revealed these, but my Father which is in heaven.
Right.
The gates of hell shall not prevail against this. 7 verses later, Jesus proceeded to tell them that the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of them. They're going to crucify me and I'm going to rise on the third day.
Right.
Peter said, be it far from thee. And Jesus looked at him in the face and say, get thee behind me, Satan.
Right. Right.
See what I'm saying? The same person.
Same person.
It's the same conversation.
Same conversation.
But it's the spirit that was in him at the time.
Right.
How you perceive, and your spirit tells you,
right,
I can do it. I can be. I can achieve. I can receive. And it's how you look at it. And sometimes when we go through things in life, sometimes we want to look at it as a negative. See, my cup is always half full.
You just touched that because I say that all the time. I'm always a glass half full. There's so many half empty people nowadays. If you always look at things like it's half full, it's okay. It's, it's gonna be all right. Or I never look at. People ask me all the time. You make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
You don't throw lemons in the trash because you don't like them. You like lemonade and make that.
Go find some sugar.
Yeah, find some
sugar. Go ahead.
With the right ingredients is.
And you can learn a lot about a person by doing that very thing. Mm-hmm. You take an 8-ounce glass, put 4 ounces of water.
I do that all the time.
And you walk up to and you ask them, and their response will tell you a lot about them as an individual, about their mindset. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to change is a person's mindset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Their point of view, their view on life.
Right.
Jamie Gilmore got a program called Cut Different.
Yep. I respect that. I respect
much.
I respect what he's doing.
And he told, I interviewed him and he said he don't call them field trips. See, when me and you went to school, it was a field trip.
No.
He called it exposure trip.
Exposure, business trip, exposure trip.
Because he's exposing them to things. Right. Now their eyes are open to be able to visualize, to be able to know that these things exist. To even want these things.
You got to get out the box. And if you're in a box and you see these 4 walls until you get taken out of the box. And a lot of these kids are in a box. Mm-hmm. They're in the projects. They're in a box. They see negativity around them all day. They see bad language. They see all these things, and they're never out. And he's doing a great job taking them outside the box.
South Sumter. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to your high school career. South Sumter. The coaching staff. What did you learn most from your head coach?
Oh, man, he's like my second dad. A coach is more than a coach. A coach is a mentor, a leader, father figure. A lot of times, my high school coach coached at my high school for 35 years. Mm-hmm. You don't find that anymore. You don't find coaches that can hold on that long anymore. And he taught me a lot of things as I take some with me. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to achieve what you want to achieve. Always be the first there and last to leave. Don't be so eager to get off the field.
Sometimes as a kid just, I call a kid is like a computer. Whatever you put in it is what you get out of it.
Right.
And when you think about high school football coach, this man is your coach. Like you say, you can remember conversations he had with you. You can remember things he said to you. And it's 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
You know what I mean? So now that you're a head coach at a historically, school here in Marion County, with great tradition.
Right.
What elements that you learned from him that you will take into your first season as a head coach? Sir?
I'm bringing the culture of South Sumter, and I let them know that I need that culture because that's what's in me. The respect for your coaches. My kids they can't curse around me. The coaches can't curse. I don't tolerate that, disrespect and language. We can find words, like my dad always tell me, he ain't got to say something sometimes to say something.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is look at you a certain way. That's the old school way.
I'm a firm believer. We talk about, so many kids grow up without the father being in the home. Your mom, let's say you out there in the neighborhood playing, your mom come on the porch. All right, Clinton, y'all come in here, and food done.
It's different.
You'll play for 10 more minutes.
It's different when the daddy steps out.
But daddy step on the porch. Your friends see him and everybody stop and you look around. Daddy ain't got to say nothing.
It's different.
He stand there, you put the head down, you get on in the house.
People, and I talk about this a lot too. It's a lot of single moms that are struggling with raising boys. And we got to find men to step in the gap. For one, Jamie Gilmore's program is doing that, doing a great deal of that with a lot of them kids, I'm sure. But we need some other uncles and cousins and nephews kind of standing in the gap for a lot of these single moms, because it's hard for them to raise some boys. And boys don't want to listen, and they get bigger and their shoulders get up and they stand over top of them. Like, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. So we need some men to step up and
it's at a very early age, little boys figure things out quickly.
Yeah.
And as a son, especially when you're the oldest son, I'm the oldest son, and you want to protect.
Right.
It's just in you to protect mom.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we understand when, the young ladies have to be very careful when they allow people to come around their kids, because that little boy understand what's going on when that man going there with mom.
Exactly. Smart.
And he can't do nothing about it, so it causes him to be angry.
I've seen that.
And act out. That's why the school and they get frustrated at school, they act out in school. Now they want attention. They can't get mad at mom because she's mom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they grow up to have mommy issues and take it into their relationships and manhood.
Right.
You want to speak on that, sir? It's
definitely a cup runneth over type deal. And it's tough because you kept putting in catch-22. You're trying to live and meet people, but then you got, when these ladies are trying to, meet a guy, but the kid is very angry, and that's where the dads, the fathers, anybody can be a daddy. The fathers need to, we need to step in, and we it don't matter. I'm divorced, and me and my ex-wife, we decided our daughter is really the number one priority to make us. We have to get along, regardless of how people grow apart. But that don't mean it need to be pulling a child, and you get a lot of that. And so I think the male needs to, the male and female need to find a way to have a cohesive
to coexist,
and co-parent for these young men, and just for them, because I've seen it in kids. Honestly, I got kids that want to come to TC, and they contact the school and want to come, but the mom and the dad are feuding, and I don't want him to go over there because this, it's to prove a point.
Yeah.
And it really hurts the kid.
And so many, I remember, even myself, I got married young as a kid. I'm in my second marriage now. And when we first separated, my daughter would get my hand and get her hand and try to put it together and all these things, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
they want to see that.
It hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at this, but it's like, but when only one side want it, you can't even God doesn't force you to love him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing. It's tough on the adults.
It's tough on the adults.
I'm a firm believer in, as a man, a lot of times we they got the social media now, they have these conversations. It hurts a man.
Yeah.
When a man separate from a woman,
it's something that's script away.
And sometimes you don't. I remember being a kid. You a kid. You got girlfriend. I got married at 19.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm a kid.
Never really experienced a lot. Yeah.
Right. So you got girlfriends in school. You the athlete. So
right.
We already know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we we move around a little bit. So you get married. And it seemed like it's nothing, but it's a spiritual tie because the first time I attempted to do something I didn't have no business, it was different.
It felt different. It was almost like somebody
I mean,
nudging you.
That piece of paper serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
Right.
And that had never happened before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the spiritual tie. You know what I'm saying? The two shall become one.
Right.
You know, and it's so important. And I think that we as mature adults, we should educate our kids, not only our sons, but our daughters also, to let them know what to look for in a man.
In a man or woman.
To show them, you know, what if they've never had a man over them. That's why a lot of times the young ladies don't receive a true man in their life because who do you talk? They never had structure.
They never had structure.
You know, and when we think about it, I was interviewing a young lady, and as a father, your job is to provide and protect. At all costs.
Right.
She want to go, Daddy, can I? No.
Right.
No, that's not a good place. That's not a safe place.
Right.
Now, when she gets married, you're going to walk her down the aisle and give her away to this man.
Right.
Now, all of your responsibilities
is on him.
Become his.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, honey, I want to go out. No.
Right.
He have the same authority. You understand what I'm saying? He has the same authority.
Yeah.
And likewise, you know, when you get to a certain level in a relationship with a woman, you'll find we'll sometimes call our wife, all right, mama.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
it's no different.
It's no different. Because a mom take care of your needs before you need them.
Yep.
Your mom know that diaper smelling, so she changed your pamper.
Right.
You crying, she go fix you a bottle.
Right.
She do these things, and the wife does the same thing.
Right.
She does. It turns into the same thing. You know, so.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
She's mom one, I'm daddy. You know what I mean? Depends on who needs what.
Yeah.
You know, but so when it comes to when you got the call, we're gonna talk Trinity Catholic football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about this off air, but what was it like? Okay, you're the head coach, contract signed, the handshake is taking place. You're the head coach. You're in the car. You're leaving. You're by yourself, and realize I'm the head coach of Trinity Catholic.
It's not easy getting a head coaching job. You know how many people want a head coaching job? A lot of people really were like, oh man, I wish I could. And I wasn't looking for it. And that's the thing is, what God got for you, he got for you. And no man can take that. So I wasn't looking for it. They wanted me to be on the board. I was on a board. We interviewed Gates. We interviewed all of the coaches, and I was just there asking them questions with them. But when I was in the room with them by myself, I would say to them, oh, I would do this if I was, or this is how I would do it. You know, because the first thing you get as a coach is when someone says, you know, we get the question, how are you going to convince, if a parent wants to bring a kid to Trinity, how are you going to convince them that Trinity is and if a parent comes up to you and say, you're just trying to use my kid to get into Trinity for football, what would I say? And my response would be, it's a mutual relationship, you know, because your kid needs this program and structure in his life. The uniforms, the discipline, the structure. He needs this, and we need his athleticism to build our program. So it's a mutual relationship.
Sure.
It ain't a one-way street. Well, no, we're gonna prep him for school, prep him for college.
Because football only 3 months.
Football 3 months. What else is he going to do? Yeah. He needs structure to carry him. You know, we want to build momentum and structure so it carries him. So that's how I answered it. Mm-hmm. And a couple minutes into the work, you know, when all the coaches are out, the president says, "You take the job." And I was like, "I can't. I got a gym." I would, and I didn't at the time. But then they came to my gym.
They double team.
And said, "We want you, coach."
You know, it feels good to be wanted.
Yes.
And to be loved.
Yep.
You know, it's a great responsibility. And not only you is responsible. That also goes to your wife
Right.
and your kids, because
Everything.
it's a lot of time that you was once spending in one place
that you got to now you got
that you have to spend another, and it's a full-time job. And the man that I perceive you to be, you only know one way,
Yeah.
and that's your all.
I got to go 100. I got to go 100 and everything. And when I took the job and I said, I am a head coach of Trinity Catholic, this is a big deal. Now, what color you want the helmets, coach? Coach, what you want this? Coach, what you want? What you need? How you want your office? Hey, let's put the cheapest desk you can find in there and sign with me. Because at the end of the day, that's not gonna tell you who I am. Things. You know, what is it gonna do to keep what do you need to do to keep you here? And all those things aren't gonna
You know, if I made the statement, it's the principal and then the head football coach.
That's it. I mean, it is special. Coach, they can use the field if you want them to use the field. You don't want them to use the field.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility, man.
but it's a lot of power that comes with it, especially at a school like Trinity, and the administration is wonderful. I mean, they literally love and respect what I'm doing, what we're doing. And when I came there, I know they went 2-9 last year, and Brantley's a great coach. He got a lot of history, but like I told him, it's a new head of the snake. It's a new head of the snake now. You know, because the tail's gonna follow where the head goes. You know, and the coaches that were there, I gave them an opportunity, because I don't believe any coaches should be, or any man that's trying to provide for his family, I come in and wipe everybody out and say, no, y'all go, I'm bringing my own people. No, you want to see where we can go with this thing? Let's start over fresh. And so I gave every coach an opportunity to stay.
So if I make the statement that every team is a reflection of the head coach, what would be your answer to that?
Attitude reflect leadership. And I think so. I think it's a test of South Sumter. They have history of culture, and it don't matter what kind of talent they have come in, they find a way to compete and be physical. And it's just the discipline and culture.
You know, you played for 3 NFL teams. You played for the San Diego Chargers, the Eagles, and the LA Rams, correct? You know, at the highest level of coaching, to your rental league, to the coach at South Sumter, what's the difference?
The difference is the message. You know, like, you can look in a coach's eyes and what's behind him, and you can feel it. Like Norv Turner and Marty Schottenheimer are both NFL coaches. Both coached the same players. Marty was able to take us to a 14-2 record. We went 8-8 when they fired him and got Norv Turner. It's how the discipline and structure still has to happen at the highest level. You don't tolerate certain things. I remember Marty Schottenheimer. We were 45 minutes in the practice, and guys were loafing around. He stopped practice instantly, sent us back into the locker room, and had us come back out and start practice completely over. Norv would have never done that. He would have just went on through it. But Marty demanded respect and discipline. Coaches that are good in high school throughout, you can't be afraid to lose a kid because of respect and discipline. I told them when I first came in there, I am not afraid to lose any of you coaches or players to respect and discipline. If I lose you because I'm trying to discipline you and get you to respect me and I respect you, then I don't want you in this program anyway.
That's right.
And if you are afraid of that, you are lost already.
Yep.
You've lost your team.
And I've seen that sometimes, and the kids see, well, you showing him favoritism. You know what I mean?
It has to be a standard set, no matter who it is.
That's right.
Coach, player. That's why coaches can't curse. Players can't curse. I don't want to hear that.
I mean, people say what they want to say. Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, the results, the proof is in the pudding. You're playing this for one goal. It's only one goal.
Yes, one goal.
and they getting to the goal better than anybody else. So how can you argue with their method?
And Bill Belichick, he's never had. He don't have the. He's had Brady and some big names, but he didn't.
But Brady wasn't a big name.
He wasn't a big name. 7th rounder.
This guy benched the number 1 pick in the whole draft.
Yeah.
For a 5th rounder.
For a 5th rounder.
5th rounder.
5th rounder.
That's
5th, 6th. No, he's 7th
rounder.
7th rounder.
A 7th. I mean, and then when
because he believed in him.
When Tom Brady got hurt, Drew Bledsoe came in and won the game, the NFC. Yeah. And then when the Super Bowl, back to the bench, we going with Tom. I like the blue car.
I like the blue. That's what I like. But that goes to show you is a coach, structure, and discipline is everything. They were able to take. When my brother was playing against them, they was 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Atlanta against
New England.
They came all the way back.
31-28.
I would never take Edelman over Julio Jones as an athlete. But that game, Edelman did exactly what he's supposed to.
And then that year, the Falcons had the running backs. Hill, they had
everybody.
Even Matt Ryan was playing lights out.
But I mean, this is discipline, structure, and cohesiveness.
What do you when you talk to your brother? Okay, everything gone. He come back home. Brother lost the Super Bowl, man. I mean, everybody, Paul, you got it in your grasp. You know, brother lost the Super Bowl. What kind of conversation? What did he say? Like football wise, not y'all personal conversation, but like, what is it like? Well, bro, what was it?
He said that they just came out and everything was clicking for them.
It's like they couldn't make one mistake.
And because I call that tunnel vision. I call it like you zeroed in. You know what you got to do, and nothing's going to distract you.
Biker boy,
I'm telling you, you're like you got these horse blinders on, and you're just this is what we have to do, and nothing's going to distract. That's the same way I work out. When I tell myself a certain amount of reps, and I set my mind on 100 reps of something, I am going to either get there or I'm gonna die trying to get there, and that's the difference in 1%. Mm-hmm. Some people don't want to feel that burn. Yeah. Guys like me, we chase that burn. We chase exhaustion. Like I need to be exhausted at the end of the day.
No pain, no gain.
I need to be exhausted because I'm trying to get this done, get that done.
You know, when I hear you speak, sir, you know, I had my surgery was they emergency surgery with me. I had spinal compression. Mm. And you know, how the doctor explained it to me, you have your spinal canal is like 12 to 15 circumference.
Yeah.
2 of my discs was 3.5, and one of them was completely shit. So by pinching me, I just felt tight. You know, I couldn't. And I didn't understand. I didn't know what it was. Right. You know, the MRI immediately. You know, neck brace. Don't let this man fall. You know, I'm like, what's going on? You know, but my recovery. Sometimes if I think about it enough, sometimes I cry to myself
because you know,
I'm around people that has had my surgery and they have been like this for years, and I'm watching them, you know,
barely move,
robot, you know, RoboCop, and I'm just in my fight within me.
Right,
I am not going to be like that.
That's it.
I am not that.
That's what it takes.
And I didn't want to come home to my family like that.
Right.
And I fought so hard for my life because to me it was my life.
Right. Yeah.
And nobody know what it feels like to sit in a wheelchair.
Right.
And you looking at people do regular things and just wishing.
And you used to do it.
And I was athlete. You know what I mean? I was, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, I say, hey, you see the men you watch on Sunday?
Yeah, I do.
I say, I'm one of them people.
I'm one of them people.
I just didn't. You know, because I was always a good sized guy, but I could run really fast. I was really quick.
Right.
And I would race guys, and they would give me 3 steps because
Right.
I'm so big. I'm
Right.
280 pounds.
They would think, yeah.
They think it's sweet.
Yeah.
But I've never, ever been caught.
Right.
They
yeah.
say, boy, that joker like a 5.0, the Mustang.
Yeah,
Boy, I come out that hole on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was short in the race. You know,
Right.
we racing 40. I
Yeah.
run 37. You
yeah.
run
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
But a lot of them I could beat head up, but I
Right.
didn't have no pride.
Right.
You want to give me 3? I'll take
yeah,
the 3.
yeah. I'm gonna take it. You'll give me.
Matter of fact, give me 5.
Give
You
me
know what I'm
5.
saying? Look at this. I'm fat. Look at me. You know what I mean? And you know, but my fight, man, I had to fight for my life, man. And it got to the point to where I was a fall risk.
Yeah.
Looking back, it was a gamble because if I could fall, if I fell, I could be paralyzed.
Right.
Forever. And them people cut me from here all the way around. They opened my neck open
Wow.
to get to the back.
Yeah, because they'll go to the front. Yeah.
Right. And I fought so hard. I would wake up when the nurses wouldn't let me do things, you know, and
Right.
and you know, I'm in prison, so I could get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then when I would wake up 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning when the nurses and I would do my exercises to better myself. I mean, I am not. I got a walker. I got the walker, just started lifting my feet, just doing things. And I fought so hard to be the man that I am. And knowing I had so much farther to go.
Right.
You know, and we talk about depression. That's a bad word, especially in our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
We look at that as a bad word.
Bad word.
And I had to realize, you know, I talked to a therapist or whatever for about 1.5 years. And what she was trying to get me to do, Mr. Hart, is accept my limitations.
See, yeah, no.
And I just would not accept my limitations. I cannot, you can't tell me I can't get better.
Right.
But, you know, I do have permanent damage to my spine.
Right.
So it is what it is. But it's a couple falls.
Yeah.
And couple, you know, hitting that floor and can't get up.
Yeah.
You know, I'll have learned, okay, when I get like this, I know that's going to take place. So,
you know, yeah.
But it was hard for me to accept less than anything. You know, and it's a mentality.
And that is everything right there, is the mentality of how you approach everything. You know, they say it all the time, that a lion is a lion not because it's big or strong than any other animal. It's because the mentality of what it feels like about itself. And so when it sees something, it sees it as food, regardless of how big it is. Yeah.
You got to remember Chuckles at that commercial. You got to eat.
You got to eat. You got to eat.
And
it don't matter. And so that's the mentality that you got to have. You have to have an eagle mentality. You're going to fly high, and you have to have a lion's mentality.
Do you struggle when you see others that don't have the drive that you have? Or do you realize I'm different?
I understand that I'm different, and I know how energy can be transferred. We're energy. Mm-hmm. We're electricity. Our brain is firing it so much. We don't understand it. So when you think about things and you think about how energy travels, negative energy travels as well. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say you surround yourself around people that are uplifting and positive. And so I consider myself a high charged voltage. And I'm just trying to pour into people. And I want to be exhausted at the end of the day because I poured into so many people. I see somebody that don't have the drive. I'm gonna convince. I'm gonna drive them. I'm gonna push them. That's why I do the classes that I do. That's why, sometimes I'm tired and I'm like, I don't feel like it today, but let's go. And I get in there and it switch and it switch flips, and I'm like, people say you were just about look like you were about to pass out, and I was like, oh, well, that ain't what I'm doing, because I just have to get myself going sometimes, and then I feel myself with the positive energy, and it just takes over.
It's kind of like, people like yourself. I feel like I can take anything, but don't you do it to him.
Right.
Don't you do it to her.
Right.
I may not get offended if you attack me because I could take it. It don't matter to me. But don't you
Yeah.
do it to lesser than.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we have to realize even Jesus poured into everybody, but he took time to go off to himself
Yeah.
to spend time with the Father.
Right.
He had to get
You
powered
have
up.
to get power.
You know, they got these Teslas, man. You got to go plug that thing in every now and
You can
again,
drive
man.
it, but 2 hours, but you got to be plugged up somewhere.
You run out of battery, juice, you're in trouble, huh?
So I do take me time. At times, I'll get up in the morning and I'll walk outside by my pool and I'll take a knee, and, because I can drop right next to my bed and pray, but it's effort to get up and go outside and feel nature, and so it's a little bit more effort.
1%.
Yeah, 1%, and that's the difference. So you gotta find that 1%, and I challenge everybody, find that 1%, and your why has to be bigger than you. My mom was my why, and so when I didn't feel like doing it, I would think about her, or I'd think about making it so I can take care of her, or and create a generational wealth chain that a lot of other people do. So it's what is your why? Why you do what you do?
Do you understand how unique and how special you are as an individual in your story? Do you has it sunk into you?
Sometimes it's surreal. That I used to go out in the field in San Diego, and I used to just stand out. I got a couple pictures on the internet where somebody took, and me just staring up and looking at the stadium, because I used to picture everybody back home watching me. It's like, instead of looking and seeing the empty stands and saying they fixing to be filled up watching me, I'm thinking about everybody back in Webster fixing to watch me play football on TV.
Webster, Florida.
Yeah.
Webster, Florida.
Yeah, so it's very humbling. It is very humbling, and I just consider myself Clint.
How do you remain humble? You can easily be the opposite of the man that you are sitting in this chair.
Because I think every kid needs. When I was a kid, I would have loved to know a lot of athletes that played at the highest level, and a lot of kids can be standing by me in the store and don't even know who I am because they don't know, or they don't even play football. They'll ask, they're looking at me, but they don't know, and I'll say to them, "You ever met a pro football player ever?" It's like, "No." It's like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and that type stuff goes a long way.
And you know what that does to that kid, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've seen guys ignore it because, "Oh, I don't want to be bothered."
Right.
That's life changing.
Some people are privileged throughout life. You understand what I'm saying? Like you say, your purpose was greater than yourself.
Yeah.
You was never, to my understanding, it don't appear you ever been a selfish
It's
person.
not a me. I'm not a me person.
When I do these episodes, like this camera's on you. I try to make it about that person.
Right.
And not myself. And sometimes my analytics tell me the people want you, man.
Right.
Like when I do, like I may go to a clip, when I break this down, it'll show me a clip speaking to you.
Right.
And I'll just play my clip and it may get the most thing. It's like the people want you.
Right.
But to me, it's not about me.
Right.
It's about whomever is sitting in my chair.
Well, it becomes you doing what you're passionate and what you're passionate about, and you making it about other people. That's where our blessings they come from. That's where everything that happens for us happens. That's the reason why good happens to you.
Out of a pure heart.
Out of a pure heart.
See, when you do it out of a pure heart, it comes natural. It's not hard. It's not, And
it pours over because I have a habit. If I have a loose cash in my car and it's just sitting there doing nothing, like a couple dollars, $3 or $4 sitting in the thing, and it's just sitting there, I don't even really need it, and I see a homeless person or somebody's holding a sign, I'll just go up and I'll say, well, I'm not using it. They can probably use it. And then my daughter would see me do that over and over again at times. And it's nothing I did in front of her that I didn't do without her.
Yeah.
So it got to the point to where before she would beat me to it and say, Dad, you got a couple dollars? If she's riding with me and she sees somebody. You know, and that's what people, that's how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
So, I mean, I just challenge people to have that pure heart care about other people. We're in a time where there's a lot of negativity out there, and I told my coaches yesterday, because we got a coaches meeting Sunday. I told them we don't look for problems, we look for solutions. So we can't go out, we can't be constantly looking for issues within the team. We got to look for solutions within the team, you know. So that's going to help us a lot.
You know, I'm a man that firmly believes in, we know the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sewing something, I cut my finger off, okay, the problem is my fingers bleeding. I need to stop it from bleeding. I need to find a solution.
So I need to find a solution.
You know, some people focus on the problem.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, your finger bleeding, Listen,
yeah, it's bleeding, it's bleeding. You know,
I know that already.
I'm wired to instantly think of a solution.
Right.
You know, I don't believe that I should come to you with a problem if I don't have the solution. If I come to you with a problem,
you gotta have
and you say, okay, what should I do? What you want me to do?
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, you put more pressure on me to figure it out, you know, on my own. If you're going to bring me a problem, bring me a solution with it.
To consider.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm coming to you with a problem, if I don't know how I want to fix it, how can I expect for you to know? So with that being said, you know, not saying that there was a problem. The problem is the administration saw fit to make a change. Mm-hmm. It was a losing season. What's the solution?
Discipline, structure. When I went into TC, first thing I did is I looked around in the locker room. I didn't look at no kids. I looked around at where we going to be at. And I saw dysfunction, chaos, weights over here, bars on different levels, squat things on different levels, dip bars all over the place, up, down, on the ground. I stopped them and said, how are we going to operate in chaos? Y'all got 45 minutes to tighten this thing up. I want all these bars on a certain level every time we come here. I want this here. I want that there. They spent 45 minutes input, and they felt so good about their house now.
When you walk into it.
Now you walk into it, everything looks uniform. You go to school in uniform. Your locker room's uniform. We on the field, we uniform. We are cohesive. If you got a bunch of dysfunction and chaos, that's why they had dysfunction and chaos in the coaching staff, on the team, not connecting the administration with the football program. My second thing was, after getting in the locker room, I got to make sure administration and football is united. We are student athletes first. We're students first, athletes second. These teachers need to know I care more about their grades just like the teachers do. And I care about them respecting the classroom and the discipline of the teacher more than I do with them in football. So we have something that I don't think any other school has. It's called Flex, where every teacher is required to stay an hour, not even required, they volunteer to stay an hour after school Tuesdays and Thursdays. So any kid that's having problems can get tutored and they can stay. Football players I demand them to stay if they are having problems. They can't come to football if they have a C or D. They have to go and get the extra credit in the work before they come to football, or they don't come to football. That is something that's super special that these teachers are doing at TC, and you can't.
You know, the old saying is, you know, when you're a baby, babies are closer to God.
Right.
You know, and so they make these kids a little closer than me and you, huh?
Yeah.
But kids can genuinely, I think, you know, there's not a lot of structure in the world today.
Right.
A lot of parents, these young parents, don't hold the kids accountable. But I think kids gravitate towards accountability.
They want
and structure.
They want it.
But you have to be willing to, it's just like they're tested.
They're tested.
They're tested. They'll run right up to the line and tap on it, tap on it.
It's just to see if what you're gonna do.
Right. And if you hold firm, they'll respect you, they'll appreciate you, and they will respond to you.
Right.
And they'll line up.
Yeah. That's right now. I don't have to say a word since we've been doing this. If a kid hear another kid say something he shouldn't, he'll say, "Man, you got 25, man. Give us 25, because you got 25 push-ups every time you say something." The N-word, any of it, I don't want it.
Yeah. My kids, I used to, I remember one time the parents kind of, I'm coaching out the forest at the time, and it could be some privileged kids out there, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand.
Parents in high positions, nobody, the kids love me, the parents love me, but I'm very, I wouldn't treat them no more than I would treat my own kids.
Right.
I'm the type of parent where, okay, certain things we're going to talk about. Certain things you do, we're going to talk about it and get some understanding.
Right.
But some things you do, the rubber going to meet the road.
It's discipline time.
You understand what I'm saying? No time out for this one.
No.
Because this just bluntly disrespect. We're not going to talk back to grown people. We're not going to play mom and dad. We're not going to do these things. You know what I'm saying? These are discipline, rubber meet the road. And the kids, like my kids, we don't jump outside.
Right.
One of the first thing I say to the kid, the first thing I said when I walked in there, they looking, I said, "My name Coach Pete. Winning is not an option. Losing is not. That's what we do. We win. We Forest High School. Da da da." I say all pass plays on set, all running plays on one.
Right.
We don't have no need to be jumping outside.
Made it simple.
And as the season grow on, okay, we can put something in. But all pass plays on set, all running plays on one. So when you jump outside, everybody do 10 push-ups.
Right.
One man, all the defense, all the offense, whatever. And in the game, it got to the point where in the game, if they jump outside, my whole team
They're doing push-ups.
do a push-up during the game.
Yeah.
I ain't had to say nothing. I didn't say do them push-ups.
Right.
I didn't say anything.
It's just programmed in the brain.
And they took it amongst themselves, their accountability.
Right.
We as a team, it's almost like we letting coach down.
Right.
Because the kids internally, they play for you.
Right. They will play. That's the key. Will your kids play for you? Yeah. And I tell them, just like I played for my team and not even just for the coach. I want them TC players to play for the community, play for the school. Put yourself aside and just play this game for your friends that's coming to watch you. Look up in the stands and give them something to cheer about. They got to know their teammates. Carter, you need to know Johnny over there, the linebacker that's third string. You need to know every play. You need to know every player on your team. And so that's what's huge about what we're doing. We're really trying to create a culture at TC for years to come. And I'm not opposed to saying if I ever say something that any coach or any other school can learn from, iron sharpens iron. I would love for Vanguard, Westport, I'm cheering for all of them. We have 5, 6 to 7 African American coaches in Marion County right now coaching high school football. Not that I wouldn't want any other coach to win it either, but this is a good prime time for us to leading a pack of young men to do right by those young men.
Do you think it make a difference? What I mean by that is life experience. For example, your own life. This focus on you. Okay, your life. You say you grew up. You might have not has had as much structure or whatever.
Right.
Do parenting or whatever, the childhood. But you, like you say, your decisions was based. You set yourself, man. As I sit here and I think about that, you got a chance to go to college right out of high school.
Right.
I could get away from this junk. I could get away from this. I could run from this, and I could be something. I could become. I can become something.
That's the problem.
And you didn't say that. You said, "Mama."
Yep, that's the problem. These kids are I kids today.
And do you think that? I mean, so therefore, your struggle allow you to be able to relate on a different level than the coach that may not have been through your situation.
The kids don't use their struggle as leverage. The struggle is leverage. My struggle is leverage. Seeing things created anger, and then my high school coach taught me how to channel it, direct it. So when I touched the football field, I was able to direct it toward my opponents. But when I get off the football field, I got to be back to Cliton Hart.
Did you tackle, when you was in high school, did you tackle with intent to hurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Violent.
I definitely can relate.
Yeah.
I remember through my conversion to Christ, I remember looking in the mirror. You know, in the county jail, they got these little square mirrors, little fuzzy looking, and no real mirror.
Real mirror, yeah, it's like metal.
Yeah, little plastic looking, fuzzy looking mirror. And I remember looking, and I read in the Bible, it said, "Know ye yourself, how that Christ Jesus be within you." And I remember standing up in that mirror and looking in that mirror. I said, "Well, Lord, why am I like this?"
Right.
I verbally said that, "Lord, why am I like this?" And I began to look back over my life and just violent.
Yeah.
Just like when I played football, I'm trying to hurt them people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm literally trying to hurt people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always made a quote, and it's gonna sound crazy. People be like, "No, you know," but you may understand this. You know, I used to say, "Man, if my mom put on that other helmet,
yeah, you might get it too."
I'm gonna get it to her."
I might get you.
You know what I'm saying?
You better take a knee before I get there.
I say, well, she's supposed to say, "No, I'm not gonna play against my son."
I'm not gonna play against my son
because I'm playing linebacker, and Mama, my job is to stop you from getting in this end zone.
Yeah, I had a story about a boy I grew up with. His name is Eric Hill. He's from Webster too. We grew up together. But he went to Wildwood. He moved to Wildwood because he couldn't beat me out at quarterback. So he went over there and played at Wildwood. And then we were rivalries. Mm-hmm. And so we got to play him the first game. And I was so excited because I knew if I got my chance to hit him, I was going to try to take his head off. And so he was underneath. I remember this to this day. He was underneath the pile, and I had his helmet. And I had his helmet turned to the side. And he was screaming, "Man, you trying to
mashing him?"
I lost it.
It's
a trigger. It's something.
It's like, you know, to me, once the ball snap, it's like you can't hear nothing. It's like it's just.
That's a prime example. People ask me. I told the teachers, the parents this at my parent meeting. I said, I played in front of 50, 60,000 people, and I couldn't hear the noise. I only focused on the field, my teammates, the coaches. So anytime y'all come with the noise from the stands yelling at me, and I won't hear you. I'm not gonna hear you. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna hear any distractions. I'm focusing on my team and my players, and that's all I can focus on.
You know, once the play, you know, the tackles made.
Now you hear it. It just comes back to you.
It's
it's wild, man. I'm telling you, it's been a great journey. And this is icing on the cake.
You know, it's so many. You know, when I wish you success, man. Yeah, you know what I mean. I just think that discipline is. I take discipline and structure over talent. You know what I mean, if I got a bunch of 2 stars and you got 4 stars with no discipline, I beat you.
I'm gonna beat you.
I don't know about the next coach.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna beat you. Yeah. I mean, because I tap into it. To me, within the rules, I'm all means necessary.
Right. Within the
rules. I got all of these kids been out here because it's easy for them they can easily not believe in you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so My job is to put them in the best position to win, and I take that very, very, very
Yeah,
seriously.
put them in outside of the game. Winning is bigger than the game. You can win on the field, but you lose to the streets. We lost a lot of we've lost some kids from Forest High School. That I think they were going to Forest. Some good players. Drive by. A couple of players just recently going to prison. And it's super unfortunate. And I challenge kids that this right here is football. You have to have an alter ego. Like you have to become something else. It's become somebody else. But you got to be able to turn it off when you get off the field. It's like I kept 4 dolls in my locker. 4 big dolls that stood up side by side. There's the Fantastic Four, the Rock Man, it was Rocky, King Kong, Incredible Hulk. And all those alter egos spoke to me before the game. The Rock Man, you got to be solid as a rock. That's what these tattoos are, all the way up my arm. It's like rocks. So I had to tap into that. Solid as a rock. And I would say that to myself. Solid as a rock. And then I would look at the Rocky and I was like, I have the tiger. I have the tiger. And then I would look at King Kong and say, protect what you love. You love it, protect it. And then I would say to the Hulk, time to turn green.
Smash, so
Yeah, so those things would trigger me because I learned from Brian Dawkins because he had 2 lockers when I went to Philly. He had 2 lockers, and I was like, why does he got 2 lockers? He would be Brian Dawkins, but when it's game time, he's sitting in Weapon X, Wolverine's locker. And he had figurines all through his locker. And he played like that. He came out of the tunnel like a Wolverine crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this guy and I'm like,
in character.
he's in character. It's like Denzel said, you have to go in a dark room and become these actors. And Brian Dawkins taught me you have to be somebody else. At this level, you have to create an alter ego.
How important is studying the game?
Man.
The edge.
People don't, these kids, anybody out there coaching football needs to really, right now, like in this day and time, take a opportunity to teach and coach IQ football. A lot of these kids, even at juniors and seniors, do not know the simplest things. When I get out there and I'm asking, do you know what this is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what cushion is? Do you know what this is? Leverage. Do you know what's cover 2? What's cover 1? Where's your leverage on that? These kids are joining senior and junior year and have no clue.
Well, with all due respect, some of the people that was coaching them don't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? That's what's sad.
That's what's sad. They need to create a coaches clinic, but they do have coaches clinics, but it should be mandatory for anybody coaching to attend some of these coaching clinics, like even if it's locally, because these kids get and they're so far behind the 8 ball, they have no clue.
It's almost like you're doing a disservice to them.
You're doing and you get them out there in 7-on-7. And you tell them play man to man. They're not doing it at every level. You have to know how to play zones. You have to know what's in your zone and what affects your zone and what beats what coverage and what routes.
Even though you may, I had I don't know if you're familiar with Keymon and KJ Pinckney.
Mm-hmm.
Them like my nephews, So I had him in studio and I was talking to him about. I asked him what's the first thing he do as the wide receiver when he come to the line of scrimmage. He say identify the coverage and see what coverage they're in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's
IQ.
And I do that to showcase their IQ or any kid. So therefore, because colleges may be looking for all the talent level is equal.
It's equal. They're looking for who has the edge.
On film, I see the same thing.
Yep.
But when you do these type interviews and you showcase your intelligence and your you know what I mean, you know how to speak and you got structure in your life That's the edge.
Yep.
That was give you the call and not the other kid.
Right. I can't trust you. I can't have you on the field.
That's right.
If you're a DB and you constantly biting on this and no MEs, no mental errors. You got physical errors because he's just stronger than you. That's different. A mental error, that's because you just don't know or you can't get it.
That goes back to your first thing. To me, fitness. As a coach, I always make the statement, especially in basketball. I say, when you're fatigued, you make mental errors.
Yep.
When you're tired, everything.
Yeah.
It's not working right.
It's not
right. You're trying to suck air.
Everything's not firing on all
cylinders. And it goes back to fitness. Healthy heart, fitness.
Yep.
Let's get in shape you can be strong and mentally and physically.
Yep.
Because in order to, like, some people ain't. I remember Coach Simmons used to work us. We feel like our arms down this block somewhere.
Yep. But when you get in a game and it's fourth quarter, you've been worked so hard that I'm not even tired. I can keep going.
Let me ask you a question. Sometimes in anything you do in life, you can have a burnout.
Yeah.
Do you think your years away from football made you more hungry?
Yeah.
Like in practice, those guys, like you say, someone went to Florida State. They never stopped playing football.
Right.
Some of them since they were 8, 9 years old. But your speed is different out there.
Right.
You know, like you say, these people, these coaches, these scouts are coming 10 minutes into this.
Right.
Who is this guy?
Right.
You know, you running a little extra fast. You liking it a little too much.
Right. Right.
You know, this guy did.
And I think that was my edge, the hunger, the desire to be better, the desire to be faster. Even to this day, doing stuff in the gym, people say, man, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy.
I'm the hook right now.
I'm hungry.
I'm the hook right now. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I'm going to tell you, man, those Avenger movies,
I love them.
You know, as a kid, I always liked Spider-Man because he was more, Superman is Superman. But Superman is invincible.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man, he's flying and, you can hit him every now and then. It seems more realistic, But as a grown man, and I watch these Avenger movies, man, I'm messed up about the Hulk, man. You know what I mean? If you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
If I can instantly master one skill, craftsmanship, like building things.
If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive.
Any 3? Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson, and Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Real life funny man.
Real life funny man.
So you take Michael Jackson over Prince?
Yeah, I'll take Michael Jackson. Now, artist, Prince can play everything. Piano, guitar. Michael Jackson was an entertainer. He's a better entertainer, when it comes to the dance part of it. But Prince was, that's a tough choice.
Man, you gotta go with Mike, man. Mike, man.
Yeah, you gotta go with
the
Mike.
music itself, man.
You gotta go with Mike.
I'm going with Mike.
Yeah, I go with Mike.
The doggone Thriller album, man. That thing still.
Yeah.
Now that you know music, you listen to them bass lines and stuff, man. Those some.
Yes, they had some serious stuff. Yeah, serious stuff.
You think Muhammad Ali would have beat Mike Tyson?
No. Mike Tyson at his prime, he had intent to kill. And he'll tell you that. He was in the ring for different reasons.
You know who Milton Busby is?
I heard of it.
Milton Busby is the gentleman that ran for sheriff.
Yes.
And I did his campaign for him. I done all the media to his campaign. And behind the scenes, me and him would talk, and he took the Muhammad Ali approach. He want to tap around and pop him upside the head and let it go to the scorecard.
You can't do that.
But I was trying to tell him.
You got to knock him out.
you got to understand who your judges is in Marion County.
Yeah, you got.
So if you go to the scorecard, I don't care how many times you hit him, they still gonna pick Billy Wood.
The only reason is if it's a unanimous is he can't get up. Knock him out.
I told him, I said, man, you got to knock him, Mike Tyson, man, knock him out. So ain't no, you know what I mean? I believe in that through and through. So, give me a lesson you've learned the hard way in life.
Lesson I've learned the hard way is you got to go through some things to change some things. I went through a divorce, and that was a lesson. That was, it was tough, and sometimes you feel like you failed, but did you really, or was it timing wasn't right? So I've learned through stuff like that timing is everything.
Tell my audience something about Cliton Hart that most people be surprised to know.
That I worked in pepper fields growing up, cucumber fields. I worked at McDonald's. I'm a super caring person. Obviously, people see that, and I'm easy to approach. A lot of people think that because you played in the NFL, you can walk up to me anywhere and ask me anything. If you got a kid that want to take a picture, if you got a kid that want to get an autograph, I'm easy to approach, and I'm not arrogant. Even though people may think, you might be full of yourself. I'm far from that. People that don't know you, they kind of think that.
It goes back to perception. They perceive you to be this way.
Yep.
Without
knowing you,
without really knowing. What you want to get off your bucket list?
It's a lot of things I won't do. I won't jump out of a plane. It's some things I'm just not going to do. I'm not diving. I'm not scuba diving. I'm not doing. So
you ain't gonna scuba dive either.
Not, if the Lord want to make me a fish, He would have made me a fish. He want me in the water like that. So
and no living life on the edge.
I just want to live life. I don't want to be on the edge too much because you already got people trying to nudge you off of it. I'm not putting myself that close to the edge. So
if you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would that be?
Song? I'm the Tiger. It's Rocky is just, it does something to me. The Heart's on Fire. That's on the Rocky soundtrack too.
If money wasn't an issue, where would you be right now?
If money wasn't an issue?
Mm-hmm.
At my gym. Just doing what I love to do.
Working out.
Just working out.
Man, you know what? I've never been to the gym, man.
Come check it out.
I'm going to come down to the gym, man.
It's
you think
my space.
You think you could get this old body working back right, man?
I know I can. I know I can.
I might have to take it, boy. I love more than anything.
And I tell you what, I do it for free.
I accept your offer.
I do it for free.
I appreciate that. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
The will to win in life is not as important as the will to prepare to win. Everybody wants to be winners, but preparation is lacking.
That's the same thing Culpepper said. Like I say, once again, people that says most successful people in life have the same mind frame. The preparation that it takes. Everybody sees Sunday.
Yeah.
But no one, you understand what I'm saying, understand what it takes to be to that level.
To get to that level.
And that's what makes the average NFL player and a great NFL player.
And this is everyday life, though. People want to win that day, but life is a game, too. It's like you got to get up and you got to play it.
What's the most challenging thing you've ever accomplished in life?
Most challenging? Getting to the league with no college experience. I think that was the tip of the iceberg for And to me, it was easy. That's what's crazy.
That's what's, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Out of all the stories, man, I don't think people.
It was when people they ask me, I'm like, to me, when I say it was easy, I'm not saying it was just like, no, in an arrogant way. I'm saying God made it easy.
And you probably, if I ask you, you probably could think of 2-3 guys that you played with or against that you feel like, man, these guys could have easily made it to the league.
Oh, easy.
It's the it factor that, you know, my friends tell me, you know, I have a few friends that help me in this journey that I'm in, because and when I'm by myself, I think all the time, man, these guys are grandfathers.
Right.
These guys is not doing wrong. These guys are workers, regular
Right.
9 to 5, but these guys believe so much in me,
Right.
to where they would invest in me.
Sacrifice, yeah.
And because they say out of all of us, like the pack or whatever, the
Right.
friendships, you know, you're the doer.
Right.
We'll sit around and say, man, one day I'm gonna do this. I'm
I
thinking
gotta do
about
it.
that.
Got to do it.
You're the one that go and make it happen.
Yeah. Got to make it
If
happen.
it come in my mind, if I could see it,
Doing it.
you know, I'm gonna do it. You know,
Do it.
Determination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. If you had to switch lives with anyone for 24 hours, who would it be?
Switch lives with anyone for 24 hours. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I would love to I would just love to fly on his jet. He got his own jet. He got his yacht. He got all his stuff. And just to see what it's like in his shoes, you know, to walk around as the best that ever did it.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger
you know
Woods.
what I'm saying?
It's just to walk around in them shoes and just like,
Serena.
I mean, me being mediocre, you know, just mediocre, average, but then, and I get a lot of attention. Just I'm like Michael. I couldn't.
He's probably the most famous athlete
in the world.
in the world.
In the world. Yeah.
In the world,
In
Craig.
the world. In the world. Yeah.
If you had to create a law that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
Love one another, respect one another, in spite of the differences.
Who or what have made the biggest impact on your life thus far?
My mama. That's why I did what I did.
You know, I was having a conversation with someone, and you know, it sounds strange to even say daddy and mama. It seems backwards, don't it?
Yeah.
You know, you say mom and daddy.
Right. Mom
You
and
know
daddy.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
It don't. Yeah.
it's
especially for black males.
yeah.
It's always the mama.
It's hard to even. It doesn't even sound right to say
daddy and mama.
Daddy and mama. Even though we could sit here today as mature adults and we believe in God, and, you know, it's God the Father, Jesus Christ. You know, me and you in the household is dad, mom, children, but we are still mom and dad.
And I heard some in church that drawed us a disconnect because you say the father. The reason that a lot of black African American homes is missing the structure is because fathers aren't in the house. So how are we supposed to love the father when it's
You don't
no
have a
father there?
You have no existence. Okay, remember we was talking about problems and solutions. You know, what do you think the solution is?
The solution would be, you know, before we go blaming. We try to go back to the root. And you got to dig up a little bit of information and then kind of bring that up and out. Because if I look at my dad, his dad was never there like that. So then my dad is kind of semi there. And then then I have to break the chain.
Yes.
You have to make the choice to break the cycle.
And you know, and that's why when we was talking earlier, I say that every moment, you can change, you could have been something all your life, and then very next second decide not to be that way.
Decide not to be that way.
You know, I push back against things like alcoholism is a disease.
Right. No.
Such and such is a disease. I say no, that's a choice.
That's a choice.
Cancer is a disease.
Yes.
AIDS is a disease. These are things that you cannot
you can't control.
Right. You're not gonna. Okay, it's a lot of diseases I thought I had. When you got arrested, it went away.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't die. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but society, it's about money.
Yep.
It's about money and catering to certain people who they choose to cater to.
Right.
Trauma is real.
Right.
And I think that as much as we can say, you know, such and such went through it, he didn't know, but it doesn't make it. I may have not had something. Like, for example, I didn't meet my father until I was 12, turning 13.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know nothing. Don't know he exists, know nothing. But I always told myself, you know, man, when I get children, man, I'm going to always be there.
Right.
Not that it was his fault, because they were kids.
Right.
You know, he lived in New Jersey. She lived in Florida. She went up there and came back here. So he didn't know. All he knew was Florida. He's a kid. He don't know Ocala or nothing, you know.
Right.
And a great man, you know, ever since then, it's all good. But it's just something was in me to not to be.
You want to be that way.
I wanted to be, not saying it was his fault, but I knew that what I was missing, and I want to be that for mine.
Right.
So somebody had to break the curse. Like you say, okay, I'm going to break this curse in my family.
Yep. I want to be a reason why.
You know, and with all due respect, your dad had that opportunity too.
Right.
You so it boils down to the individual
choice.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe a lot of times we as a people and a culture, we try to blame a little too much.
Well, we look for excuse to justify.
Yeah. Not saying that some of it don't exist.
Not saying some of it don't exist, but if you say, "Oh, that guy's racist, why he doing it?" or "It was a racial," that's the most triggering thing that we can say, because it don't even have to be that, but then it becomes that, because that's what our history has told us. So we're really quick to
throw that word out and use that word as a crutch.
And use that as a crutch.
And sometimes we don't like to hear the truth coming from another race. Now that man could be speaking the truth, but just because he's a Caucasian, he's not allowed to say it. If you don't like what he's saying, change it.
Change it.
I'm just a firm believer. I always make the statement, Mr. Hart, that black people are more racist than white people. I mean, and that seems crazy, but see, I like the blue car.
Yeah.
I like the blue car. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's a touchy one there, but I get what you say. I understand.
People feel as though, you know what I mean, these are the conversations that's hard to have.
But you got to have them, because
I tell guys, I say, man, you know, if this man will hang you and you will shoot him in the face, what makes you different than him?
What's different?
You became what you despise. That's not love. That's why I talk about this podcast is talk, love, and communication.
Right.
Love each other the right way, the agape love, the way God say, like you said, doing to others you want done unto you, and communicate your feelings.
Right.
Communicate. Don't be ignorant. Ignorant means lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Just communicate how you feel.
Right.
You know,
I say this. Yeah, I try to do this, and I find out this a lot is I will try to speak to every brother that I see, white or black. But I find a lot of guys, a lot of African American guys, a lot of black guys, they don't like to smile back. You know, they don't like, "How you doing, brother?" how you doing today? Somebody, but it's like, yeah, it's almost, it's kind of, like we have so much animosity toward each other for some reason, for no reason, and it's been programmed in us from way back to where you have the house slave, field slave, jealous of the house slave. So you create animosity.
And see, some of it's real. Like I say, there is a such thing as systematic.
Systematic, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we understand these things, but it all boils down to choice.
And choice.
I don't have to be like that.
I don't have to be that way.
You don't have to be like that.
Yep.
It boils down to choice. So I'm not a man to blame nobody.
Right.
I didn't make the tackle because I didn't get there.
Yeah, I didn't get there. Right.
Period.
Yeah.
I dropped the ball. Not that the court, it touched me. I dropped the ball.
Right.
I missed the block. Coach, you took the right step. I don't want to hear it.
As soon as they start telling me, I don't want to hear no excuses.
What's the rule?
Yeah, I don't want to hear no excuses.
You know what I mean? And I try to attack things that certain topics. I got an episode I do weekly. Mm-hmm. It's called "Get It Off Your Chest."
Yeah,
where people I got to show you. You'll like the logo too. Maybe we could do some.
Yeah,
put that Cliton Hart thing.
Collaborate on it.
And it's a guy on a bench. And he got weights on him.
Right.
He's get it off your chest.
Yeah.
Get it?
Okay.
And my audiences, they could call in.
Okay.
I got to phone them and they call in and they get it off their chest. Whatever it is,
Right.
Whatever they. I always say, no problem, circumstance, situation. No need to stress. Call in, get it off your chest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that's good.
And allow people to release.
Right.
And when I was going through when the presidency election was going on.
Oh man, I know you.
Oh my God, the conversation. For people, I've never seen a man so loved or hated by the people that has never met him than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The name Donald Trump alone flares so many. I mean, no matter what side you on, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And as a podcast host, I believe in the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, jelly, day and night. So I'm just giving it from both sides.
Both sides.
And I don't have jokers call me and tell me I ain't right. You a Trump lover. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm stating the pros on the man, not the cons.
Not
what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get it.
It's amazing how fast it flips,
I get it.
But people are passionate about what they're passionate about. And I believe that you meet a man as a man.
Yeah.
And because they're good and bad in anything.
And anybody.
And everybody, person, place, thing is good in everything. One Popeye is better than the other Popeyes.
But yeah, it goes to say those the 5 black cops that beat the black gentleman to death right there at his house before he's calling his mama. They killed him. Unfortunately, they beat him. And this is all black cops.
Yeah.
But we didn't yell out racism in that.
Yeah. And see, just like I say, man, I believe black people can be more racist. And see, black people use the words, honky, cracker, redneck, all these things loosely. What gives us the right to say that? But if you hear a white person say the N word, the nigger word, it's the end of the world. Yeah. I mean, so you can't be a double standard. You can't do that. Yeah. Who do we think we are to be able to do that? And no consequences. Right. Now I'm gonna tell you what I just read that was very disturbing. I don't know what's gonna happen to the kid, but I could pretty much imagine. The kid worked at Dunkin' Donut, 27-year-old black man in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's sad, man.
Yeah.
That's why we have to communicate the right way. You know what I mean? Communicate without violence.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, I mean, come on.
We figure we got to be violent because that identifies that we tough.
Yeah.
That
goes back to the not smiling.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're tougher than me, and I'm like, they can call me whatever they want. I'm gonna say,
Don't let the smile fool
Don't
you.
let smile fool you. But I mean, it's well, whatever.
You know, sometimes jokingly I make the statement, because I always been an athlete.
Right.
Like I was bigger, you know,
Yeah.
but foot, you know,
Your footwork good. Yeah.
everything. And see, if you ain't got no feet, you can't fight.
No, you ain't nothing.
You can't get in position. You can't throw a proper punch.
No, none
you
of
can't do. And I tell them, I say, man, I'm an athlete, man. Don't let it, man. You ain't no athlete, man.
Yeah.
You can't whoop me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna. 9 times out of 10, I tell a person, man, look, I've been winning all my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I applied myself, the truth
I'm
is, I pretty much
Yeah.
fix it.
I'm
And, you know, physically, you know, hey, they talk junk, well, you know, you fat or what. I say, come on, grab hold to it and find out. Because, you know what I'm saying? That's my advantage. I tell them that's my advantage.
That's my advantage. Yeah.
You know, but, man, you know, we meet people and love people, man. And I say, man, when we think about football, man, you know, we teach the kids, we want toughness, but we also want the kindness. And I believe that Trinity Catholic has made the perfect choice.
Yeah.
You know, you're a man of character, integrity, a man of God, which line up with their values.
Right.
Also, and you've been to a certain level in life.
Right.
So you know what it takes to get there. And I look forward to spending some time out there this year, man, getting some film in and watching you prosper, you know, and throughout the season. We should do this. Hopefully we'll do this more
again.
often.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I appreciate it.
But this is the part of the episode where we're going to play a game called Fill in the Blank. Even though you don't cheat it and heard some of the questions, we're going to see. You answer the question quickly.
I can't remember half the things you asked.
Quickly, precisely, to the point. First thing come to mind, there's no right or wrong. You ready?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to.
Fall in love. I don't know. You said first thing come to mind.
That's right. I love when someone
works hard.
Say it again?
Works hard.
Works hard. Hard worker. If I had to do it all over again, I would.
Work harder in the NFL.
My favorite holiday is?
Christmas.
It aggravates me when people
don't work hard.
The best quality someone can have is?
Work hard.
If I had to ask God one question, it would be,
why don't people work hard?
My childhood crush was,
Kanisha Sherman.
Ginger or Marianne? Off of Gilligan's Island.
Ginger.
You know which one Ginger was, right?
I remember both of them, but
Marianne was the one with the pigtail. Ginger was the movie star one.
Okay, Ginger.
You want the movie star? If I had to travel anywhere in the world, it would be
Africa.
My favorite movie is?
It's a show, but Martin.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could go back to any age, it would be
15.
Jesus is
my rock.
When I meet someone, the first thing I notice is
their energy.
My greatest strength is
my energy.
My greatest weakness is
somebody else's energy.
The biggest misconception about Cliton Hart is
that I'm arrogant.
I'm a pretty good guy, but I draw a line in the sand if you
turn green, you make me turn green.
If I had to star in a movie with any actor, it would be
Martin.
Brian Dawkins or Ed Reed?
Brian Dawkins.
Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Tom Brady.
Donovan McNabb or Dante Culpepper?
Dante Culpepper.
Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith?
Barry Sanders.
Jerry Rice or Randy Moss?
Jerry Rice.
Terrell Owens or Brandon Marshall?
Terrell Owens.
Michael Irvin or Andre Reed?
Michael Irvin.
Brian Schottenheimer or Norv Turner?
Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer.
Healthy Heart Fitness or 2 Year Health Spa?
Healthy Hearts Fitness.
All day?
All day, every day. Gotta have heart.
Gotta have heart. Without the heart,
You don't even want to start.
ain't no stop. I tell you what, sir, this is a part of the episode. It's called AMA, where you, Cliton Hart, get to ask me, William Robinson, anything.
I would say, why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because God, the short story is God commanded me to do this. I was sleeping. I call it visions. You know, I pray, I fast, I meditate. I kept hearing the word podcast, which was not in my vocabulary. At the time of my incarceration, there was no such thing as a podcast. 3 to 4 months before I was arrested, before I got released, podcast kept, I wake up, what is a podcast? What is this word? I didn't know, so I'm asking people, they trying to explain it to me. And toward the end, toward my release, he started showing me little visions. I kept seeing like Barbara Walters and Oprah, them sitting down talking to people.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, that's like the show, you know.
Right.
I didn't know what it was, so I do it because I'm commanded to do it. So.
One more question. How can the community continue to get behind you and push you and support what you do for the community?
By having more love and communication. You know, that's my message to the world. You know, love and communicate properly. And to participate in things. Like anyone could call me. I've never turned down an interview, no matter who it is. If you got a small business, you got something you want to promote, something, an event, or just you just want to tell your story, I'm always here. You know, this I have 24-hour access to my studio. I wake up out my sleep to do this. You know what I mean? This is what I do. As far as this is a nonprofit. I'm trying to convert it over to a 501c3. But you know, you donate through various platforms. I have Cash App, Anybody Love You with a U. I have Zelle at my phone number 352-209-3306. Also have PayPal at Robinson74William@gmail.com. And these are various ways, you know, it's a lot of things I want to do for the youth, for the football teams, but it takes resources. I need more resources to be able to do more things for the community. And it's just a blessing, man, to be able to see the kids, to hear the kids' answers. I even thought about, you know, Bill Cosby used to have the show where
I just was thinking a kid podcast.
kids have the darnest thing.
Yeah, you might be careful with these kids these days.
Nowadays, but these kids.
I don't know what you might get.
And, you know, I had a vision of having a dating show. You know, it's so many, it's a lot of single women, mature women that reach out to me. And it's such a distance between, especially in our community, you know, the women and the men.
Right.
You know what I mean? Beautiful, intelligent women with great jobs, hurting, crying on Christmas, Thanksgiving. They smiling on Facebook, but they really hurting. So I want to have panels to where men and women can really listen, mature panels. Because everything is down in the men or down in the women. That's not what I do. Family, love, you know, communication. And I was thinking about having a dating show to where, for example, it would be a woman and it'd be 3 contestants. And they have
questions and all that.
They each have 7 minutes to the table with her. At the end of 7 minutes, they get up and walk away. She called a 3 back. Unfortunately, I like this about you, but unfortunately, I didn't decide you today. And she picked one. And if she decide and they decide, they go out on a date.
There you go.
You know,
Healthy Hearts will sponsor the date if you do that. If you get that going, we'll be a date sponsor.
You are married, right?
No, I'm single.
Oh, so you gonna be my first contestant?
I'll be your first contestant.
Okay, now we're gonna get that going. We're gonna get that. And I really believe that'll be, and you know, me and you was talking earlier off air about the sponsorship, and that's where, you know, you go to Outback, Okay, so now you
Yeah.
Outback provide the dinner.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now
And you know they get
they're
their
part of
recognition.
it. Now they're a part of it.
Right. These are things that I think about, and I feel as though God give me these visions, these ideas. You know what I mean? Where does it come from?
Right.
You know, I spent 18 years in prison due to lack of communication. I didn't know how to express myself emotionally.
Right.
And you know, us football players, and you know, everybody use this. When you hurt people.
Right.
And when you hurt me, if my advantage over you is I'm stronger than you,
right.
So I hurt back. I use my advantage. I want to win.
Right.
You know, winners want to win.
Right. Yeah,
know?
I get it. But knowledge is power only when that power is being put to use. So this information that we get, you know, that can help us grow into better people, better individuals, better business owners. It's only gonna, you know, if we expose it and put it to use, it's only gonna enhance what we're trying to do in this world if we put it to use. So I encourage you to get that podcast, get that dating show going, so I can be the first contestant on it.
I got my first contestant now, man, so I think we're going to definitely get that going. Okay, so this is the last part of the episode. You're going to look over this in this camera directly over my shoulder. You're going to give my audience your final thoughts, sir.
I just want to say to the world out there, just continue to support this amazing pod and what he's doing, Mr. Rich, William Richardson is doing, and I at Healthy Hearts Fitness. If you want a great place to work out, we're free on Saturdays. Free class on Saturdays. You can come out and get your health and wealth going. And for Trinity Catholic, expect some great things from Trinity Catholic High School this year. We're on the up and coming, and we're on the move. So pay attention.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is from Cliton Hart. Those are his final thoughts. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, William Robinson of TLC Talk Love and Communication, ladies and gentlemen. Today we had a very special guest, Mr. Cliton Hart. And we're going to support this brother, man. He's going at his Trinity Catholic. We're going to wrap our arm around him as a community. We want to show him some love and support in everything that he does. Hey, it's more blessed to give than to receive. You know, sometimes the giver got to do some receiving, and we're going to receive some love from TLC land. We want y'all to follow this young man. I'm quite sure it's right downtown, man, right on Magnolia where the old train station at, man. Y'all come join it. Show him some support, man. You know, help him help you. Help him help us. And with that being said, we only got one life to live, and it's a whole lot easier with love and communication. You can donate to this podcast, your cash app, anybody love you with a PayPal, Robinson74William@gmail.com. They are 352-209-3306. Remember, nobody told you they love you today. William Robinson loves you.